What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we go over freshman wide receiver Andrew Marsh being recognized as a true freshman All-American, plus a key position switch on the offensive line for the Wolverines. And we also go over Michigan's plan for when the transfer portal opens up, as well as what Sherrone Moore had to say on Michigan's 2026 recruiting class, some players that could play early as freshmen, and also on any hidden gems in the 2026 recruiting class as well. And then we also go over Michigan basketball with another blowout victory over Villanova as this team continues to roll. We talk about that, all that and more in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, before we do go ahead and get into this video, first I want to mention my second channel, Detroit Sports Talk. We're starting to post Lions content over there. So if there's any Lions fans out there, make sure to go ahead and check that channel out. Subscribe for Lions content over there. We're trying to build that channel up. I would greatly appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get right into it here. First, I want to talk about Michigan freshman wide receiver Andrew Marsh, as he made it onto On3's true freshman All-American team that highlights the nation's top first-year standouts. According to Charles Power of On3, he said that Marsh emerged as one of Michigan's most dependable playmakers and a trusted target for fellow true freshman Bryce Underwood. Caught 42 passes for 641 yards, 3 touchdowns, and once in Michigan's rotation, Marsh showcased strong hands at the catch point and the ability to find space in opposing defenses, and also had several clutch grabs in the game against Northwestern, where he earned True Freshman of the Week honors after hauling in 12 receptions for 189 yards. So awesome for him to earn recognition right there. He's going to be a big part of this offense moving forward, going into next season. And obviously the Wolverines will look to get some more targets in the transfer portal. Definitely going to be a need here. And then also wanted to talk about some changes on the offensive line, as obviously Michigan saw the emergence of Blake Frazier at left tackle. Once Evan Link went down, Blake Frazier stepped up huge. And also the Wolverines still have Andrew Babalola, who is set to return next season. He dealt with a season-ending injury this season. And for Michigan right now, bull prep is underway. According to Sam Webb of the Michigan Insider, Evan Link appears to have slid inside to guard, and it seems like it will be a long-term move for Michigan on the offensive line as well. And he apparently has looked good at guard, so that could be huge here moving forward. Evan Link moving to the inside to play guard, and obviously Blake Frazier, Andrew Babalola playing tackle. So just wanted to mention that. Obviously Michigan will see which players will be playing. They could be without, players like Giovanni El-Hadi in the bowl game. Also players on the defensive side like Derek Moore, Deshaun Barham, as obviously they will look to prepare for the NFL, but we'll see which guys will be available. Those are just some veteran names that could potentially opt to sit out. Sherrone Moore did say that, we'll practice. We have a good steady pace of practices and some skill work, but he said we'll still have practices as we go out through the week to start to get implemented in the game. Coaches will start the game plan. They already have. But really, it's going to be about getting better at football. And as far as opt-outs and guys who play in the game, we'll have more of an answer as we go through the week. But he did say that there is going to be a lot more playing than not playing, as this Michigan team, a very young team, especially offensively, and it should be good experience going up against Texas in the Citrus Bowl. Should be a good challenge for this young team. Ever heard of the Sleeper Rep? Well, if not, you're missing out. They offer so much, and you can pick more or less on all your favorite players: basketball, football, hockey, you name it. And we got some big games in the NFL, including the Rams taking on the Lions. Can take Devontae Adams to have an anytime touchdown, or Jahmyr Gibbs to have an anytime touchdown in this one, and you can make tons of picks like this using the Sleeper Rep. Right now it is a great time to get started because they are offering a free $20 entry, no deposit required, plus first time users still also receive a 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code MST. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. So guys, link down below in the description. Go ahead, check out the Sleeper app today. Now the transfer portal is set to open January 2nd and close on January 16th. It's going to be a busy month of January. When that portal opens up, Michigan plans to be aggressive. There's already guys who have, planned to enter the transfer portal, so we kind of got an idea of who's already out there. It'll be interesting to see if any more Michigan players enter the portal. We've already seen offensive lineman Connor Jones enter the portal, and also wide receiver Andrew Marsh. He left the program in the middle of the season with intentions to transfer and take a red shirt to have 2 years of eligibility remaining. And Sherrone Moore, speaking on the transfer portal, he already said that the big thing about the portal is not only getting the right fit, but the relationship, obviously the right player, people that fit the program, fit the culture, and fit involved in the program. You've got to be ready though, and we're on it. We've been on it, and you've got to stay on it. You've got to have lists ready to go. Obviously, you can't talk to the kids until they get in it, so we've got to do everything we can to be prepared for that. And from a financial basis, all that. All that is a piece of it, so we've got to make sure we've got a plan for all of it, and we do. And then also a little bit on Michigan's 2026 recruiting class here, and on which incoming freshmen could contribute right away. We've already talked about that a little bit, but Sherrone Moore said, obviously, I think the talent of Savion Hyder is special. I think he could do it, and then could be one of those receivers on the outside. Really excited about those guys. The linemen are all going to compete. It's a complete group. And we'll see as we get through spring practice. And now, obviously, Michigan had some players step up. We saw Jasper Parker in the running back room climb up the depth chart right away. We saw Jaden Sanders, the cornerback, climb up the depth chart and get a lot of early playing time early in the season. And obviously Andrew Marsh is another one. There was guys that were already ready, showed it in practice, and coaches got them some early playing time during their freshman seasons. And he also spoke on some hidden gems. He mentioned a guy on the offensive line, Marky Walbridge, in the class, and then also Alistair Vallejo, who, when you watch his film, looks like Mason Graham. But he also said, you can't say, hey, you're going to be like Mason Graham. He was a top 10 pick, so that's putting a lot on the kid. But he said his movements, his twitchiness, his ability to get off blocks, that's what it looks like. And then it's also worth mentioning that Michigan won't have any freshmen travel with the team to the bowl game due to the new rule that was put in place. So that definitely sucks, especially for the early enrollees. Obviously, we saw a lot of freshmen last year, practice in bowl prep. Got to see Bryce Underwood out there, and but this season, most of them will report in January. So just wanted to mention that. And then how about Michigan basketball? This team continues to prove why they are the best team in college basketball right now. 89-61, beating Villanova in another blowout fashion. And they did it this time without shooting the ball all that well. They still went 9 of 33 from 3-point range, but they did miss a lot of open shots and also missed a lot of free throws. Went 14 of 25 from the line, and it was a little bit sloppy towards the end of the game there. The Wolverines had already won the game, though. They basically already won the game at halftime. They led by 30 at the half, and at that point the game was over. And I tell you what, this team just plays with great defense, and I think that is the most important thing with this team. They play great defense, and that results in these blowout wins. They can blow out teams because they have a great defense, they play great defense, and then they also, when the offense gets going, that's when they really blow teams out. But it starts on the defensive side, and they've really focused on that. You can tell, this team takes pride in it, and when they're on, everybody's having fun. And again, just going back to the roster that Dusty May has assembled, he put together a great roster filled with players that fit each other. You talk about a guard like Elliot Cadeau, one of the best passers in the portal. Dusty May went out and got him, and he's been great so far for the Wolverines. The passes he makes are incredible. He had 18 points and 4 assists with 3 rebounds in the game against Villanova. He usually has way more assists than that, but this guy can also shoot from deep as well. He had 4 threes in the game, going 4 of 8. And Michigan also, again, dominated in the interior. They out-rebounded Villanova 47-30. They had 46 points in the paint compared to Villanova's 10 points. Then you look at the assists. The Wolverines had 17 assists compared to Villanova's 6. This team shares the ball. They are a very unselfish team, and they got a lot of talent, which is just makes that even more incredible. And the Wolverines have a great front court. We obviously know that out of Lendeborg, Johnson, Adai Mara. But then you look at the guard play. They got Namari Burnett, Elliot Cadeau, LJ Kaysen, Roddy Gale Jr., the freshman Trey McKinney. They have great guard play as well this season. So this team is very deep. They showed it again, once again, against Villanova. They have been on a tear recently. It's now 5 straight games winning by 28 points or more, and three of their last 5 they have won by 40 plus points or more. And also just to recognize how good this Michigan basketball defense is. Michigan is #1 nationally in adjusted defensive efficiency, 4.7 points per 100 possessions better than the #2 team, and that is the biggest single season gap between the #1 and #2 defense in KenPom history since 1997. So that's just how good defense that this team plays. So this team's absolutely fun to watch. Can't wait to watch them the rest of the season here. Gonna be fun to cover them, and obviously they got some big goals this season. Their next game is against Maryland on Saturday, and I tell you what, right now, if I see Michigan next up on my schedule, watch out, because you don't want to play this team right now with the way they are playing. But Maryland is next up on Saturday. With that though, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.